Hello everyone, welcome to today's training. I'll be teaching you how to mold with fabric, a cloth fabric. So these are the materials needed for this training. And this is the mold I'll be using for this training. I'll also be using a net material and a lining. Please, if you're using this kind of fabric, this fabric has lining. The lining is already attached to it. You don't need a lining again. If you're using this kind of lining, this kind of fabric, you won't be using lining again. But in my own is a net that is designed. But if you wash it, you find out it's open, so it needs lining because my felt is white in color. Assuming my felt is black, it means that I will not use lining. So first of all, I'll measure my mold. This is how to take measurement of mold. The reason why I'm measuring my mold is to know how to cut out my fabric. You don't just cut out your fabric. First of all, measure your mold. So my mold measures 17 inches. That means I'll measure everything, both my felt, my fabric, my lining, everything will be 17 inches length and 17 inches width. The same measurement goes for the lining, it goes for the net design. 17 inches length, 17 inches width. Yes, 17 inches length and 17 inches width. Same thing goes for the lining. 17 inches length and 17 inches width. Please don't forget to measure your mold. That gives you the measurement of your fabric and the measurement of your felt. So I've dipped my felt inside water, just ordinary water. Then I'm wrapping up my mold with nylon. And this will help my molded felt and fabric to come out easily. So after molding, I'll use oil or Vaseline to rub over the nylon. The reason why I'm doing this is because after molding, you know both the felt and the fabric will come to it. So when you want to detach it, it will be very easy to come out. So don't miss doing this step. You rub on top, rub by the sides. On top, rub on top very well and rub by the sides very well. Now, I will squeeze out my felt. While squeezing it out, don't squeeze out the whole water. Just squeeze it out and allow some water to still be in it. You keep your water aside. Now I want to mold the felt first. This felt has two sides. It has a shiny part and a rough part. So the shiny part will be on top, the smooth part will be on top, while the rough part will be down. So what I'm doing now is to check if they are equal. Ensure that the sides will be able to cover under. That's what I'm trying to check. The four sides, east, west, north and south, ensure that all of them will be able to enter under the mold. So after checking that, I take my pins, my thumb pins. Take my thumb pins to hold it down first. See the part that I'm holding down first. You hold it down. Yes, you hold it down. You shift and hold it down. Then you put your thumb pin round the top part first. You hold it down. Up there, round the top part. Just watch what I'm doing very closely. You understand it. As you do that, you use your other hand and smoothen it. As you smoothen it out, you put your pin. If you observe that there's a place where there is not really smooth, bring out the pin and smooth it down. Then you put your pin there. So that is that for the top part. Next thing is to mold the side. You mold the side. You pin down the side. That's the next step to do now. So watch what I'm doing. I pin under and you drag, but don't drag too much. Why I'm dragging is to smoothen it out. That's what I'm doing. You pin under. I do east, west, then north and south. The four sides first. You drag, but not too much. Just drag a little. Pin down. So you do the four corners first. Pin down the four corners first. After doing that, you check the top and see how it looks. You see it. See how it looks. Then you now start picking side by side. You take it down. You smoothing out. Can you see? Just smooth it out and you pin down. Yes, you smooth it out and you pin down. So if you pin down and observe that you didn't get it, you can still remove your pin and adjust. So you continue to do this process until you cover the whole mold. Don't know if you get me. You cover the whole mold. Go on with this step. Drag down, and pin down till you cover the whole mold. Alright, I'm done with mine. Can you see? I've pinned everything right round. See the top part, very smooth. So it's in place. Next thing to do is bring my stiffener, my bowl, my brush, and water. Please, there is no exact water to be used. You can use normal water, just normal tap water. So I want to mix my stiffener. The work of stiffener is to make this mold, this felt that I molded now, to make it to be thick. So the one I'm pouring now is my already used remaining stiffener. I used it to mold before. I've already mixed that one. So I first of all poured it before pouring this one that I've not really used. So I'm mixing it up now. And when mixing your stiffener, please, it shouldn't be too watery. You see the consistency of mine. It shouldn't be too watery because felt needs a bit thick stiffener. Not too thick, but a bit thick stiffener. So when you apply your stiffener inside your bowl, when you pour it inside your bowl and pour water, you turn it and you can see the consistency. See mine, it's not really too watery and it's not too thick. So take your paintbrush and dab. Don't just rub. See what I'm doing. You dab. What I'm doing is dapping. The reason why you should dab felt is very thick. So the stiffener needs to enter inside, to penetrate inside. Don't know if you get me. So you dab, continue to dab. You dab till you finish the top part. When you're through with the top part, you dab the side. Don't forget this. Dab side also. So that's why you should mix enough stiffener. Not the one you will do small and start mixing again. Mix enough stiffener. If it remains, you can pour into another container and it will still be useful. So you dab round. That's what I'm doing, round the edge, not just under, but the edge. Target the top and the edge of the mold. There's a reason for that. So I'll go around, I'll do this right round, and I'll show you how I did mine. Yes, I'm through with mine. See, it is very okay now. Both up and down, I'm through with damping. So I've dapped round. Now, the first thing to place on it is my lining. The reason for this lining is to cover up this white part. Don't know if you get me. Assuming my felt is black, I don't need the lining. So I pour just little quantity of stiffener. Just little, not much. Then add more water. Remember, the water that I used for molding the felt, the stiffener was a bit thick. But now I will rinse everything out, make it to be watery. It won't be thick. And if you get me, it won't be thick. So use your hand. You can see the consistency is now watery, just watery, but not too watery. But it's watery. So I dip in my lining. That's the first thing to enter there. You dip it in and don't squeeze out much. Just you squeeze out little. So we ensure that everything when you ensure that the stiffener has penetrated into the lining well, you spread it out evenly. Ensure that, please, when you spread it out, make sure that it's able to cover the mold. All right, next one is to dip in my fabric, that net fabric. You dip it in. Do same thing, soak, bring out, soak, squeeze out. When you find out that it has absorbed enough stiffener, you bring it out again and spread out evenly. When you spread it out, make sure that it covers the mold very well. Right round, it covers it very well. So let me cover up my stiffener so it won't pour away. One needs to be careful. Right, I spread it out and it has covered my mold evenly. So after dragging everything out, and as I'm aligning it, I align it too with the lining. So I opened my felt. Can you see it? Open it up. Those felt. So when I open it up, I bring out those pins and attach it back. So what I'm doing, bring out the pin, attach it back. Please, as you do this, drag your lining and the fabric at the same time, smoothing it out. Not just to bring out and put like that, no. So you continue to remove the pins, continue to remove those pins, understand? Those pins that you put on top, and drag your lining and the fabric, you drag both down. As you do this, you smoothen it out. So that's what I'm doing. I will do it right round until everything is even. So this is the outcome of mine. Next thing to do is you drag down again, same thing you did to the felt, but this time don't remove the pins. Those pins holding the felt, don't remove it, please. Leave it there, just leave it there. Then you drag. Remember, as you drag, ensure that you smoothen out the lining and the fabric. Be sure that you smooth out the lining and the fabric at the same time. And as you do that, don't remove the pins, don't remove it. So you drag it out and pin on down. You do east, west, north and south. You do it, you pick front and front, front and front. So the 4, after doing the 4 right rounds, now start picking accordingly. So continue to watch what I'm doing, you understand it. So what I'm doing here now is what I did in the felt. Exactly that same thing I did in felt. But as you drag, please don't drag much. Don't drag it much. And if you get me, don't drag it much. Just smoothing it out. Then you pin down. Smoothing it out and you pin down. That's all. So I'll do mine right round and I'll get back to you. So I'm through with mine. If you watch closely, you see that mine is ready. I've pinned everything round. I've pinned it down. And that's how to mold your felt. That's how you mold your felt and your fabric. So please don't waste this remaining stiffener. Look for an empty can and pour it back. It can be used later. You mustn't throw it away. It's still useful. Alright guys, just take this to the sun and spread it out. Don't be in a hurry to detach. Allow it to dry. Thank you.